Day 2. I'm ready to go again. I'm only doing a short ride today. I'm going to go up to the lighthouse, just a little bit north of here, up the coast, and then down into the town, which is Fishguard, which is where the ferry goes to Rosslare, and then I'm going to toot along the country lanes to come back. It's probably only about 20k, if that, maybe 30, don't know. Anyway, I've got big plans to come and sit in the sun this afternoon, because as you can see, it's turning into a really nice day. Do you want to have a quick look at the hostel? So this is the hostel. It looks old and bedraggled, that's because it is. So basically it's an old youth hostel. It's now available for exclusive hire only. You can see there's a nice big map of the Pembrokeshire National Park coast, and we are here. So I'm going up to Strumble Head today and then down to Fishguard, and then I'm going to come back across here somewhere. So that's the Welsh Pembrokeshire Coast National Park. I think it's one of the only, it might be the only coastal national park in the country. So this is where we keep our muddy stuff. There's a mine. So as we go through, it's a bit run down, but it's nice. This is the shared dining room, which is fabulous. I mean, you're not going to get a better view in any holiday home in Wales than this. This is the view out of the dining room window. So there's enough room for 12. This is all our food. I won't show you around anywhere else because it's obviously people's private stuff. Little kitchen area. And then we've got this huge kitchen where we sort of do communal cooking and communal washing up. I'm on washing up duty later. Not great, but there we go. So this is our sort of shared space dining room. There is a lounge. We don't tend to use it because it's dark in there. This is a view out of the dining room window. I mean, why would you go and sit in the lounge when you can look at that? So yeah, so that's the hostel. There's 12 of us here. They've all gone out walking for the day, leaving me to go out on my bike. So let's take you back out and show you a little bit of where we are. It's a very old building, it's fab. It's still got wheelie bins, but it's a very old building. So here is the Welsh coast path. I mean, it's on the doorstep, so if you're looking to do a walking holiday, this is the place to come and stay, because here's the coast path. There's the bench, and there's the coast path side behind it. And the coast path goes down there, through that gate, and then you're onto the Pembrokeshire coast path. Look at this view. It's very remote, there's no Wi-Fi, there's barely any phone signal, there's barely any mobile data. Every now and again you get a wave of reception and everybody's phones go up, start bleeping, and then they go off again. So here we are, ready to go. Short ride today because it's windy again. I'm a bit over the headwinds. So yeah, let's go and see. Let's go to the lighthouse, go down into town and see where we end up. I'll take you with me. Let's go out cycling. So since I left the hostel, I've done about 3 miles max. It's taken me nearly 40 minutes. Basically, I've come out of the hostel and done an 18% climb. It was long and steep. I've walked a bit of it. Then I've done the other bit coming down. Move over. Sorry. I'm now still going down to the lighthouse, which is fair enough. I sort of expected that. This is a gentle down, so I don't mind this. I have got to go back up it because obviously the lighthouse is a dead end. I don't mind this, but the steepness of the one coming out of the hostel, just basically up and over that peak that's behind the hostel. Already it's enough this morning. So I'm going down to the hostel. I'm going to sit and have a cup of tea and a banana and a biscuit and decide how far I'm going to go today, because on yesterday's legs that climb this morning was painful. Oh, I've got a hell of a climb back up. Oh well. So I don't think you can get to Strumble Head lighthouse. It's on a little outcrop, and there's a footbridge over, which has been closed to the public for quite a long time. I think it was for the possibly for the lighthouse keepers. Certainly you can't get over there. When we were here last time, we walked from the youth hostel to here along the coast path, and I seem to remember that you can't get out to it. There's the morning ferry. I don't know if you can see that coming in from Ross there in Ireland. I think it goes a couple of times a day. One comes in the morning, I don't know what time it leaves. One then leaves at about 11 o'clock at night, going back to Ireland. You would think, based on that Fishguard would be a huge port. It isn't. There is literally just enough room for a ferry. So there you go, that's my view. It's worth the climb, huh? I'm not very good with heights, as in edges, as in this, so that's why I'm going really slowly around this bend, because I'm not confident near sheer drops into the sea basically, which I think is probably a good thing, you know, a bit of self-preservation. So, Bodadar from Strumblehead Lighthouse, finally made it. Honestly, I'm sitting on a stone that's got a sign on that says it's 3 miles to Pusterry, which is where I've come from. Obviously that's along the coast path. That's all I've done, and I'm knackered. I've done some climbing already this morning. Honestly, round here is so hilly. But there we go. Somebody's parked right in my viewpoint, look. So that's a view of the coast path from where I've come. It's stunning here. It really is. It's a bit remote, but it's absolutely gorgeous. And that's the main ferry route across there. So I'm going to climb back up to the main road now. I've sat and had a cup of tea. I'll climb back up to the main road and go down into Fishguard. And yeah, hopefully it's going to flatten out a little bit. Oof. Just cycled all the way up from the lighthouse without stopping. I'm not sure how. On yesterday's legs, I've got no idea how. Look, my helmet's not even on straight. Can you hear the crows? There's obviously something going on. They've got hold of something. Maybe it's a magpie. Anyway, I've cycled all the way up from the lighthouse. It was really hard work. And now I'm on a sort of a shelf, and I'm on a flattish road all the way to Fishguard. So let's go and have a look at the seaside. cycle route. It suggests it won't just turn to bog or a 3-inch wide footpath. Let's wait and see. Again, bone dry compared to the weather. I suppose it's very windy up here, everything dries out quite quickly. Nice to be off the road, but it's a bit loose underfoot, so to speak. This is gravel bike territory, but actually it's also mountain bike territory. It's quite nice. Chances of meeting traffic down here unless it's a farm vehicle, although there are fresh tracks, but they look like tractor tracks. Excuse me. They're like car tracks. To get up here a bit so I can see what's coming. Yeah, something's been down here the last hour or so. You see the tractor trails. Turn into mud, to be honest, because my legs are really struggling after yesterday, and I know that this climbs back up in a bit, so although not as steeply as the main road, nearly went. Brilliant bit of off-road. Only problem was I stopped at one point because there were 2 huge puddles of crap, and it was so stony at the bottom that I couldn't get back on, couldn't get any traction, had to walk a little bit. But it's lovely. It's climbing, but it's contouring, whereas a lot of the roads here don't. So it's really nice. It's contouring, but it's climbing, but gently. A bit rough in places, but actually I think there might be at the end, which is a shame. Might be time for a break and a bit of cake. That's a shame. Oh well. Nice while it lasted. Ooh, I just picked up some cow parsley in my brakes. Time for a break. Stopped for a quick break. Just as a point of interest, there's a tour around here of 6th century churches, and this is one of them in a little tiny village. I have been inside, had a quick look. Church is not really my bag, but the fact that it's so old. There's a sign on the wall that says something about 125 AD. That's quite old, I think. So there you go. There's a tour of about 9 of these in the area of these 6th century churches. So, and there's the. It's not a bad backdrop, is it? Right, here's my bike. Let's go to Fishguard. Lunchtime. This is Goodwick. This side of the breakwater. That side of the breakwater is Fishguard. So this is my lunch stop. So I've only done 10 miles, it feels like I've done 50. There's the ferry to Rosslare going out, I don't know when. I've just looked it up, it's 3.5 hours to Rosslare, so it's not as far as I thought. It's lovely here, the sun's out, there were people in the water just swimming. Divers have been out. Valerian and the wildflowers. I'm just going to sit and have some lunch. Had a sandwich, and I sat with a cup of tea, and what better thing to eat when you're sitting by the seaside than one of these. Yay! So, lunchtime and then a cycle back. The inevitable climb from the seafront. The route I've picked back, it's not long now, it's only about 10k. After this climb, it should be reasonably contoured, with the exception of the climb to the hostel. So, trying to stay on up these hills as long as I can, knowing there's only 2 left, and with a big break in between. Protected from the wind here, so that's a bonus, because it's strong down at the seafront. Still going. I need to take a layer off, that's for sure. Getting hot now. I'm averaging out about 4 miles an hour doing these climbs. Oh, tell me that this isn't a dead end. No, it's not. Made it to the top. That was a 2-mile climb out of Goodwick. On the way down, it was a 17% descent, but it was on a main road. It was half a mile max. It went straight down like that. The coming back out was on I picked a much quieter country lane. It's 2 miles long, so it wasn't anywhere near 17%. But oh my god, what a slog! In the heat as well. I had to stop at one point because the farmer was crossing the cows across the road, which was good because I had a rest, but bad because I lost momentum. So I had to walk for about 50 yards till I found some flat and then get back on. Honestly, I've done some climbing. You can hear the wind up here. The view is stunning. I'll show you the view in a second. I've stopped to get my breath, but I've also stopped to show you the football shirt. But I've also stopped to show you the football shirt because right at the start of the process of the mystery shirt, one of the best ones they sent me was this Cruz Azul from Mexico. I'll show you better when we get to the hostel because I've got my rucksack on and my camera, so you can't really see it. But it's my favourite shirt of all of them. Yeah, it's the first time I've worn it out on the bike, and I've picked such a good day to do it because it's glorious up here. The other thing to say is, remember when they had the sale on Sports Direct and they were selling £130 510 mountain bike shoes for 26 quid? Well, I've got them on and they're bloody fantastic. 26 quid. I've got the leather ones on, I can do with the fabric ones on today, but they're bloody brilliant for the money. I'm so glad I bought 2 pairs, they're absolutely fantastic. So I'll show you the view and I'll show you the shoes, and then I'm only about 5k from the hostel, so I'm looking forward to getting a nice bottle of chocolate milk, sitting in the sun and putting my feet up. Excuse the wind, this is the view up here. Here's the trusty speed that got me up here. If one more person today says to me, you need to get yourself an e-bike, I'm going to make them cycle up the hills on this. I mean, if you had an e-bike here, it would be a piece of cake. I mean, but I don't, and it isn't, and it's fine. I'm okay with that, because if I can cycle up here on my 16 speed, you know, trek heavy mountain bike, then I could probably cycle up here on anything. So the next person that tells me I need to get myself a battery, I'm going to make them cycle up. But there we go. Anyway, that's the view. That's what I've cycled up to look at. As for the shoes, they are bloody brilliant. They're so good for the money, for the 26 quid. Well, they look clean because I only had them on yesterday and today, but they're fantastic. What an absolute bargain. There's a sign for where I'm staying, plus Derry. I'm not far. If the roads were like this, I'd want to stay out for another couple of hours, but I know that I'm going to have to climb, so I'm not going to sit and have a cold drink and enjoy the good weather from a seated position that's not turning my legs. Okay, so we've got a standoff now between me, a car and a tractor. I think the car must have turned off. Anyway, I yield to a tractor every time. Right, this is the last 0.1 mile of my nice sweeping downhill, sadly. This is just a little shortcut I know we're nearly home. This is us, a dead end. See you up there. I'm back at the hostel. I'm a bit knackered, to be fair. I've only done 16 miles today. It feels like I've done 50. Feels like I've done the same as yesterday, and I haven't. I've done half. Thought I'd sit here and do a little video because just look at that behind me. There are worse places to sit, isn't there? This is the view from our living room. I'm just sat the other side of the patio glass from this morning. It's been a brilliant 2 days of cycling. It's been tough. There's a lot of climbing. I know I did 2,800 feet yesterday. I don't know what I've done today. Probably half of that in half the distance. There was that real big climb out of Goodwick. But there was lots of other little ones. But you know what? It's been enjoyable because the weather's been decent. So yeah, really, really enjoyed it. Glad I bought my bike while all the others are out walking. I just needed to get out on my bike a bit. I haven't really done any cycling. I thought this would be a really good opportunity. So yeah, it's been good. So I'm now going to sit and have myself a treat, as I often do at the end of a bike ride. This is the Cruz Azul shirt. It's my favourite shirt that they sent me. Of all of them that I've had, this is my favourite one, with the blue and red collar and the blue and red trim. I really, really like it. They're in the playoffs, different type of playoffs to us. They're in the Premier League playoffs. They have like a grand final type setup in Mexico, a bit like in Australian rugby, and a bit like, well, I suppose in rugby here as well. Yeah, so they're in the playoffs. I don't know how they got on over the weekend, but because I've been here. But anyway, it's definitely my favourite shirt. The skins are really good. They're a really good quality. I purposely bought good quality ones. They do the job. I mean, they're a UV factor up to sort of factor 50, I think. It might be 30, I can't remember. Worth the money to get expensive ones. The skins that I had on yesterday were way too hot and they weren't breathable. These are breathable. They're a really nice material. So hopefully these will do for the summer, to keep the sun off my arms, because I like being out in short sleeves, but I also don't want to burn. So yeah, that's it really. 2 days cycling on the Pembrokeshire coastal path. Hard work, a lot of up and down, a bit like being in Devon and Cornwall, but really, really brilliant to be back out on the bike. Really, really enjoyed it. Bring on the summer now. Once you get back out, you get the bug, don't you? So bring on the summer. Really looking forward to it. Thank you for watching the videos again. Everybody's liking and subscribing, so that's great. If you haven't liked or subscribed, then do. And I'll put some links to where we are as well in the comments below. Pembrokeshire Coastal National Park. It's well worth a visit if you're in Wales. You can see from behind me how stunning the coastline is. I mean, it's a nice day, granted. On Monday it looks a little bit different, so you can see how stunning it is. So come and give it a visit. Yeah, like and subscribe to the videos, and I will see you soon. Sadly, back in Birmingham on the bike, which is a shame, but there we go. We can't spend our life by the seaside, can we, as much as we'd want to. So see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.